Welcome to my channel. Well, I'm super excited because this afternoon I'm going to go ride my Surly Sorceress at Theodore Wirth. There's something really special about riding this bike at Theodore Wirth. So before I go do that, I want to talk a little bit about some history I have actually hanging in my garage. There we go. Popped it over. On. So here in my garage, I have one of the original Surly 1x1s. Now this is really early on because you can see that it only has the cantilever or V-brake mounts, whatever you want to call them, single speed specific. You cannot put a derailleur on this bike. It was made to be a single speed. When they originally came out with this frame, and this was the first frame Surly ever came out with, was the 1x1. It was called the Rat Ride. And then they later on changed it to just be 1x1. Super cool. One of the biggest things with these is they wanted to make it so you could fit bigger tires in them. This is 26-inch wheel specific. Back when 26 was all the rage, and I wish it was still much the rage. But yeah, super cool to have this piece of Surly history hanging right here in my garage. Awesome. And so what came after this frame, many years later, is the low side, which I have one hanging here, right? So the low side is the predecessor to the 1x1. So again, single speed specific, although they did make the low side so you can put a derailleur on it if you wanted to, but they come as a single speed and they have the built-in sliding dropouts and things like that. So I love this bike. I love how it rides. This is 27.5 specific, which is also a size I really love, right? So why does Theodore Wirth come into play in all of this? Well, that original frame was essentially developed at Theodore Wirth. Like before Theodore Wirth became an official trail system, which is now run by MORC, Minnesota Off-Road Cyclists, and maintained and everything. It was where a lot of the Surly riders, which were QBP employees, Quality Bicycle Products, because they are the ones that started the Surly brand. They were riding Theodore Wirth a lot, single speeding, and single speeding became all the rage in the late 90s and in through the 2000s. I went 7 years fully dedicated on riding single speed and no gears, and that was pretty fun times. I rode everywhere like that. And yeah, it's just interesting to have this piece of history and then be able to take the Sorceress to Theodore Wirth, where it kind of all started. They used to have the single speed world championships there and all kinds of just history in Theodore Wirth Park. And so today I'm going to take the Sorceress and ride Theodore Wirth with it, and it'll be, to me, like their newest frame, yet I'm still on this, very different trail system now because it's official. The city recognizes it as a legitimate activity in their park. Before that, they didn't. So yeah, and there's one more thing I want to mention about the Sorceress that makes it really special and kind of has that like Surly core in it. So what makes the Sorceress so special is they stuck true to their roots, right? All back here. Not only is it still steel, which I love, their notch tubing, it also is single speed compatible. They have a separate through axle in this guy. They call it DUH, and it allows me to swap out the components here and actually have a true sliding dropout system to run this as a single speed if I want. And that just sticks to their roots. And that's what makes this frame so cool, is Surly knows a lot of people that like Surly's like to single speed them, and I'm glad that they made sure that you could still do this with this frame in a very modern way, right? Still using a through axle, right? My low side also uses a through axle, but the system that it uses is totally different than this system. I kind of like this new system that they came up with. It's a bit cleaner and feels like it's going to be a bit more solid, but I'd say the low side's pretty solid. I haven't had any problems with it, and it's been a single speed ever since I purchased it. All right, time to hit the trails. So yeah, let's fast forward into this afternoon right now. So here we are at Theodore Wirth. Awesome how time travel works on YouTube. But yeah, this is the North Loop, and I'm gonna go ride this, but this is where a lot of the original trails were. Of course, the newer as of like 2006, right, were built to be more sustainable and just better overall, and they've lasted the test of time. Is that the right thing that I'm trying to say? But anyway, yeah, we'll start here and ride this, but super stoked to be riding this bike here at Theo for the first time. It's a little chilly today. It's like 53 degrees or something like that. It's a whole new, like, what do you say, style of bike these days. You know, mixed wheel size, slacker head angle compared to what bikes were like back in the late 90s, early 2000s. Oh, let's stick with this. Oh my gosh, I thought I was gonna go off, but I pulled it off. All right. Whew. You know, a lot of this like kind of tight, windy, single track, right? It's what the original 1x1 was designed for. And this bike still shreds it. Like, it's fun. It'd be interesting to ride those older 26-inch wheel bikes. All right, let's see if I can make it up the notorious rock garden. Lots of leaves. No, I slipped out. Bummer. Right at the top. Too many leaves. And then there's like super fun tight sections like this coming up. You gotta maneuver the bike through. Fun. Fun tight sections like this coming up. You gotta maneuver the bike through. But this is like the entire characteristic of this North Loop here at Theodore Wirth. Is pretty narrow, tight turns, twisty. You really gotta just kind of lean the bike. It's very different than today's like modern downhill flow trail or whatever, but it's still a lot of fun, and hardtails like this are perfect for it. This section has always been kind of one of my faves. here. Then you come around this bend and there's like these two trees. You gotta go between them. Yeah, this bike feels really good here. What makes this bike so cool is its modern geometry still shreds at a place like this, which was really designed when bikes had 26-inch wheels. And a lot of it was designed by those of us riding single speed. There's not a lot of hills here, so this is a great single speed trail. And you know, I'm riding gears today, but I love riding the low side here. And so it feels good on this trail, but I also know if I had to take it on some faster, more gnarly trails, which I actually did. My first ride was at Braemar, the Diamond Trail. Definitely faster, more gnarly, right? And it did great. And it's a hardtail. That's the best part. Hardtails rule. I think the bike industry and just people in general, I think they have to have full suspension. It's like, oh, no you don't. Not for most riding. Yeah, this section's kind of fun too. You just kind of rip through the whole thing. A little rock armor down though. And you got some sweepy berms. You really lean into them. Good stuff. So it's pretty nice to know that 25 some-ish years later, Surly can still make a steel hardtail that shreds. And this, I think I mentioned it before, but that's a little technical turn there. Probably my favorite hardtail so far. I've ridden some good hardtails, and this one, something about it just makes it amazing. I mean, there you have it. The Surly Sorceress. This is a sweet bike. So glad I bought it. So I am actually gonna go do another lap of that north loop. Filming, stopping, doing all that just doesn't do it justice. So this time I'm just gonna run straight through without any filming and just enjoy the ride. I appreciate your support for my channel. Please like and subscribe. Peace. Yes.